Hello and welcome to another special edition of the Mission TV show, coming to you from the OCI Leadership Retreat at Coheta Springs, Georgia. Today we have with us Sister Enaida Veloza, and you're working on an island in the Caribbean. Why don't you tell us where that is? And
Yes, this island is named San Andres Island and Providence. There are 3 little islands nearby, and we belong to the country of Colombia.
Colombia, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little about how you got into ministry, how the Lord has led in...
Yes, I like to talk about that because I feel deeply led by the Lord. In my family, we are 10 children. My mother had 10 children, and all of us are Seventh-day Adventists. My father wasn't a Seventh-day Adventist.
He wasn't?
No, he died when I was just 15, and my mother, she got baptized when my older brothers, they were maybe 10 and 8, and she raised all of us in the church. She taught us to love God and to work for Him, and all of us tried to do some ministries in the church. And I grew up in the church, and when I was 13, they sent me to the boarding school we have in Medellin, and that was all a blessing. I felt that it was the Lord just putting me in the way He wanted me to go. And after I graduated, I become teacher of our school, because we have a high school there in San Andres, and I worked there for 22 years because I started being teacher at 17.
Okay, wow.
And yes, I love the school, and I love church, and I love working for the Lord, and I even have other better offers to work somewhere, but I says no one can pay me. Only the Lord can pay me to work for Him. So I worked there until I was 22, and then I got sick with fibromyalgia, and then I retired, and I was at home. But I decided, or I felt the Lord was saying to start something different that I really wanted, and I was praying for, which is a health center in San Andres. So, and at church, I always work for young people. From I was 10, I have been teachers of the children department.
Okay.
So I like children department, and that's why I want to present my project about children department and the project about the health center.
Okay, all right. So shall we start with the video of the need for the children?
Children, yes.
Okay. This is a video of some of the children. Is this a kindergarten class?
Yes, this is the kindergarten. Yes.
Okay.
Or rather, I think it's the beginner, because they separated them now.
Okay, you had enough children?
Yes.
Okay. So we see some of the issues in the church?
Yes, because the building is falling down.
The building's falling down.
We started the project since 2009. It's entitled "Do Your Best and God Will Do the Best." And the members of the church, they are giving, but it's not sufficient. We have around 40 million pesos that I think, I don't know to change it quickly in dollars, but 40 million pesos, and we'll need around 200 million to get it fixed with all that we want, because we want to put the classroom for the children, and at the same time make a little place to give cooking classes.
Okay, so you need a little kitchen facility.
Exactly.
With a seating area. Okay, so let's look at the next video. I know that the church...
Yes, these are the kindergarten, yes.
So and is this a separate building from the church building?
Yes, just beside.
Okay.
Yes.
But this is, wow. The children are there singing, and the ceiling is falling
down. Yes, and I'm worried because something can happen. Something can really happen.
Yes. Wow. Okay, and then the next group is doesn't have a home right now.
Yes, this is my favorite class, because the youth class is my class, and they don't have a room, and I'm worried because when it rains, we have to run into the pastoral room, and there they take us up quickly, because they want everybody come in and they want space. And what worries me more is that we are near to the road, and when someone come in or a vehicle pass, their attention goes there, and then they are distracted, and I lost all their attention. So I'm really praying, and they're praying too. Every Sabbath we pray for the Lord to give us some help so we can get our building made.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's really important. And to keep the youth, I mean, if they don't have a room, sometimes they start feeling like there's no place for them.
Exactly.
So if they have a room, they know that's their Sabbath school room, they're more likely to continue coming too.
Yes, and I think we have to give young people the best that they may feel comfortable, and so they will think that they are being loved. Because I think that children who feel that their parents care for them are those who give them the best and try to have everything for them. So I think it's a message we need to send to them in giving them a better place.
Yes, yes, and you want to be able to keep the spiritual focus in the study also.
Yeah, exactly, yes. And they do well because I like my class because they're having certain spiritual experience. They are sharing Jesus because we have a part on every Sabbath that is a section to tell how they have shared Jesus with other people. And they have a nice experience. They always come up with something, going to pray with someone, giving Bible study, doing something at school for a companion, but they always come up with something nice. And I like that because I think it's like showing them Jesus as a real, something practical, that it happened, it go with our everyday living. So,
right, and it's important for them to know that testimony that they're sharing each week is very important also.
Yes.
So do you as a class do outreach projects also?
Yes, with this we have on Friday night we have a prayer group with this same group of young people, and they invite their friends and we share experience too. We have Bible studies on Friday night, and at the same time we spend half of the time praying because, well, I teach them that without prayer we won't be able to do much.
Right. Yes. No prayer, nothing happens.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. Well, praise the Lord. That's really neat. They look like happy young people. Okay, now share with us a little bit about what's going on with the New Dawn.
New Dawn Paradise. Yes. 15 years ago, I started to pray for the opportunity to do some work in health. When I was 13 and I went to the boarding school, I became vegetarian there. And when I went back home, my mother, she always understands, and she will cook two classes of food at home, my food and the rest of the family. And little by little, they went making changes, and I stand firm there on my decision. And things have changed at home because of standing firm. And so I like to read about health and these natural remedies and things like that. And then I started to visit all the health centers in Colombia. And we have around 4 of them, and I went to all of them because I wanted to know, but I couldn't learn. But I couldn't leave my job to go and make the course because, first I had to help my brothers because my father died, and so I had to help my brothers then go to the university and things like that. So I had to stay working, then there came a time that I went to the next island, to Providence, to be the principal of the little school they had there too. And it was a nice time. I passed 5 years there, but then I didn't want to go back to San Andres because I says, I wanted to change environment. And I says, Lord, I want to go to Africa as a missionary. And I insisted so much on that. And one day the Lord said, you aren't going to Africa. You will go right back to San Andres. Your home needs you. And I says, why, Lord? And I struggled. But finally I said, okay, I'll go back to San Andres. And I went back, and our high school was passing a critical moment, our high school in San Andres. And I became the academical coordinator there, and we struggled, and finally it's going on now. But then I got sick, and then I had to come out, and it was hard for me to leave teaching. To stop teaching. Yes, to start teaching.
You love the kids.
Yes, I like to be in teaching and with the young people, and it was hard for me just to stay home with my hand crossed because, I am a busy person. I like to do things, and when I find myself not doing things, it's hard. And so, I was sad about it. I was becoming depressed too. And one day, one of my sisters came to visit me, and she says, you shouldn't be sad about that. Many people like to be home and resting, and it's 22 years you have given to the Lord, and He's just blessing you that you can have some time at home. And I says, I never saw it that way. And then I start to understand, and I says, Lord, thank you, because it's time to rest. Exactly, and maybe I can use this to pray more, and maybe you want me to spend more time praying because prayer is what we need, no more than more activity. And then I just start to get into it and start to accept it. And it's like how someone says that when Joseph was in Egypt, he had many questions and he couldn't understand. But one day, he kept the glimpse of what God was really doing, and then he just sat back and started to enjoy it. So I said, okay, I'll sit back and start to enjoy being at home. And I enjoy being at home. And then I decided to start a health center where I was living because I was a teacher in the school. And I started, they permit me to continue living in the school even though I wasn't working there. So I started a bakery in the school, and we had everything fixed out, and it was running. But then I had a next crisis of fibromyalgia, and my husband says, no more. We're going to shut up that, and no more new Dan, and put up that. And then I started to learn, but I don't understand you. I felt you fix everything in Enaida for us to start this because he gave us so much providences, and I didn't understand what was really happening. And this was hard also for me. And then I just learned, take away this idea of a new health center for me, because first I am a sick person. What can a sick person do for others sick?
Yeah.
And
how can you teach them if you're not well?
Exactly. And I said, take away that from my heart, because 15 years I have been praying for this, and now it seems that it's going to happen. So if it's not going to happen, please take it out of my heart, because I don't want to struggle with this anymore. And then it happened that we had to move from the school because my father-in-law, they have a nice house there in San Andres, and no one was there to take care of it, and they says we should go at that house. And well, we move on to that house a year and around 3 months now. And as I reached to the house, I saw on the number of the house was 1.107, and that was all an inspiration for me, because at home with my husband we have a project called 107, and the project its number is 107, and it means that we're asking God for a perfect health. Oh. And then I says to him, God is saying something here. This is the place where we are going to have the perfect health. And this is the place I think God wants for the health center. And he says, I don't think my mother will agree with that. And I said, okay, let's see. We'll continue praying. And well, we started to pray all last year. Last year was the whole year to pray for Project 107. And we started to pray. And in December, it says, Lord, I think nothing is going to happen. So I'll just have to give up this and stay at home. And meanwhile, because I do sprouting. I sprouting to sell at a at a natural store.
The natural food store?
Food store, okay. Exactly.
So you sprout different kinds of grains?
Grains, yes. Okay. And I carry it to sell.
Seeds?
And seeds, exactly. Okay. So I said I will just stay with that and with my little garden and enjoy going to sea and to the beach and pass a nice time. But then it happened that my husband goes normally to the capital, to Bogota, to take courses because he works with the government. And so they say they will send him for a course. And I says, I want to go because he always carry me, because the fund they give him to send him can carry both of us. And so I said, okay. He said, okay, let's go. And then when we get to Bogota, I says, I want to go to Fusa, where we have
another health center.
And he says, okay, let's go to Fusa. And we went down. And it happened was when Stephen and Greg and Fred were there. They were in Fusa. Okay. And they were needing a translator from English to Spanish. And well, I like to do that. And they asked me, and well, we were there sharing. And I says, Lauren, you're telling me something, that something is going to happen. And well, we share a nice time. And they invited me to this retreat. Okay. And I says, Lauren, you're inviting me, but I told you something around 9 years ago, because 9 years ago they invited me to one of the health centers in California. They were going to pay everything for me, and I will have a whole year of course there in health. But I didn't get my visa. And so I said, Lord, you remember when they did give me my visa, I told you that if any time you will want me in the United States, you will have to put the visa in my hand, because I will do nothing for it. And then I said, Lord, going, and that was in February. Okay. The time was short.
Not very long.
And well, the Lord did so many things, providences, that we are here today. Even the appointment to get the visa, everything was so smooth. I didn't do anything. My husband did everything. And they gave us the visa for 5 years. And so the Lord was showing me that it was that. And so they says, you'll have to carry a video of what you're doing. And I says, but we are just 13. And I had only 15 days to do something. But in 15 days, one of the students from FUSA that was passing a vacation with one of my nephew in San Andres, she says, I want to stay in San Andres. I want to go back. She spent December, so she says in the last of the March, she was going to Ecuador and things didn't come out good. And she says, I want to go back to San Andres to work with you. And so she came over.
So now you have someone that's been through training.
Exactly. I have two.
You.
I have a young man who is from San Andres, and I have Daniela, who is from Armenia. And they are, she's at my house living right now. She's the one taking care of the house. Meanwhile, we are here.
Okay.
And well, I like it more than everything because I have one of my youth students as a patient. She have kystes in her breast, and they may turn out to be a cancer. So we are working on that. She's our first patient.
Oh, wow. Yes. So the Lord is blessing.
Yes, I think it's too much.
Right.
Yes.
Well, if someone wanted to get in touch with you and find out more about what you're doing, you have an email address?
Yes. I have my email is Joneida. Okay. John Ada is my husband's name and my name together. John Ada 77 @gmail. Okay. Gmail, yes.
Okay.
And well at the health center we only have one room, which is one of the room of the house. We have a little part where we have the massage. We have a tent where we make the sun bath. Okay. And well, the steam bath and things, well, we are just arranging. But I really want to build a structure of maybe 12 meters square to have maybe three room. And on the first floor, I will have all the therapies, the hydrotherapies and massage. And in the second floor, well, we plan to have just 3 room. And well, I want to really center upon people with cancer, because in San Andres, lots of people are dying and young people are dying from cancer. And also I like it to be like a place where people leading out in health center could leave their health center for a while and go and rest, because I have been in all this health center and I see that the leaders, they work too much. They never take out some time to rest. And because of this, we aren't able to do more for the Lord, because if we will rest more and take care of ourselves, we will have more strength, more energy to help others. So I wanted to have a special room for leaders of health centers who will like to go and pass a time of resting. And well, San Andres is a nice place to swim and to make diving and so.
To rest.
Yes.
To rest. Well, thank you so much for sharing this amazing way the Lord has led in your life and the ministries that He's leading you in. And I just appreciate you sharing that. Your joy of service is just shining from your face, and it's just such a testimony to what the Lord is doing. And I want to thank our viewers for joining us for this special treat from the OCI Leadership Retreat here at Coheta Springs, Georgia. Until we see you next time on the Mission TV show, may God bless you.